Gervonta the Tank Davis.
Gervonta, ready to push. Loud and push, Gervonta.
Everything to the body. Everything to the body. Chopping, downstairs, chopping. The brick hand. Now this, even his shots upstairs here, that's still a body shot on Jake Paul. Everything's a body shot he's throwing. Even when he's changing the levels of the shot. That's a body shot, that's a body shot, that's a body shot.
Gervonta Tank Davis, is my prediction that Gervonta Tank Davis is going to weigh in on the night of the fight against Jake Paul, knocking on 160 pounds. Don't be surprised if he's 157 pounds.
Gervonta Tank Davis stunned fans at the recent press conference for his upcoming clash with Jake Paul, unveiling a noticeably stronger, more muscular frame. His latest training footage reveals a fighter who's laser-focused and pushing himself harder than ever. Boxing analysts note that Tank's new approach seems centered on targeting Jake's body, aiming to sap his stamina with constant pressure and precise, punishing shots. The message is clear. Even with the size gap, Davis intends to prove that power and technique can outweigh raw mass.
So this isn't necessarily a ton of technique work. It may not even have anything to do with what they're trying to bring to the Jake fight. But when I watch it, I see a guy that's targeting the body. And it's the best thing that Tank could do for this fight. I mean, trying to go headshot for headshot with Jake Paul when Jake's 7 inches taller than he is. I'm assuming he's going to have a bit of a reach, even though Tank has a kind of freakish reach for his height. I don't think that's a great idea. And again, you're at eye level with Jake's belly button damn near. So you're going to have to be able to land shots right there on the waistline. And it's probably the best idea if you actually want to knock Jake out in this fight, if you actually want a game plan, because again, it's an exhibition, but if you want a game plan to get him out of there, you have to attack the body. Not that it's necessarily going to hurt Jake to the body, he's going to cripple, but it's going to slow him down, or at least that's the idea, is to slow him down, to drop his hands, and that way that we're in the, 6th, 7th, 8th round of this fight, and those hands start to fall a little bit, and Jake's gas tank is being tested, and then Tank, when he closes distance, and he will have to close distance damn near the entirety of the fight unless Jake's just like walking forward the whole time. I don't think that'll happen.
Former world champion Shawn Porter didn't hold back his respect for Gervonta Tank Davis, praising the lightweight star for his rare mix of heart and hunger inside the ring. Porter called Tank a true warrior, the kind of fighter who never retreats no matter who's across from him. He emphasized that Davis's mindset separates him from the pack. It's not just his power, but his discipline, composure, and ability to think under pressure that make him so dangerous. According to Porter, Tank embodies what real boxing spirit looks like. A fighter who rises to every challenge and competes with pure passion and purpose.
And the thing that I really appreciate about Tank is he's a dog. That what he just said, you can put them earmuffs up and go at it. He kind of will assess you as well, and whatever he needs to do, he'll do it, so.
Boxing analyst Showbiz recently set the record straight about one of the biggest misconceptions surrounding Gervonta Tank Davis, his size. Many fans assume Tank is a small fighter simply because he competes in the lighter divisions. However, Showbiz explained that Davis actually walks around close to 160 pounds. He's not the lean lightweight people imagine. Instead, he's built solid, compact, and powerful. That strong, muscular frame is what allows him to deliver explosive knockout shots, despite being shorter than many of his rivals. Showbiz emphasized that Davis's natural power, balance, and control of distance give him a physical edge even against opponents who look bigger on paper. So while Tank may fight at lower weights, he brings the strength and explosiveness of a much larger athlete.
That he can yield that type of weight. He's a bowling ball. He ain't a little guy like you guys say. The Tanky Wanky say he's a little guy. But I got more receipts. Do you guys remember 2 years ago against Mario Barrios to make 140? He was coming down in weight.
$144.1.
Weighing in at 144 plus. I even got more receipts for you guys. Remember against Ryan Garcia, right? You saw him snacking on snacky cakes and all kind of Skittles and shit, for the all access with him versus Ryan Garcia. I think this was like episode 2 or something. It was hilarious. But he goes to the store and they have to weigh him. And in that store, he weighs 150 pounds.
Okay, thank you.
How much I weigh?
154.
154?
Yes, sir.
All right, weigh me one more time.
All right, 150.
150? Well, how they doing? All right, bet.
And then the most famous audio leak that the War Room made famous that we sent out and it went viral when Team Tank said that Gervonta Tank Davis walks around at 160 pounds.
You ain't gonna never want to fight at 135 again. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's such a big chunky though, man. What's his walk around weight? From like 125? No. Walk around? Like, you're gonna be in 160. 160? Yeah, well, he get up big, but like, what's his walk around weight?
Behind the scenes, Gervonta Tank Davis has been pushing himself to a whole new level. His latest training footage reveals a fighter completely dialed in, snapping sharp combinations, tightening his footwork, and perfecting every motion with laser-like focus. Coaches describe his camp as relentless but intentional. Tank isn't training just to last 12 rounds, he's training to destroy. Every punch, every drill is designed to recreate real fight night pressure. His sparring partners are bigger, stronger, and chosen specifically to test his power and composure. Those who've watched him closely say this version of Davis looks faster, more precise, and mentally colder than ever before. This isn't just preparation, and it's transformation. Tank looks like a man ready not only to win, but to dominate. While excitement continues to build for the Jake Paul showdown, not everyone in the boxing world is thrilled about Gervonta Davis's current direction. Champion Claressa Shields, along with several analysts, has questioned Davis's recent talk of retirement following the bout. Shields argued that if Tank truly wants to cement his place among the elite, he shouldn't step away before facing top contenders like Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, both of whom have publicly challenged him. Critics say avoiding those fights could give the impression that Davis is sidestepping true competition. They want him to silence the skeptics by proving he's still chasing greatness, not just high-profile spectacles. However, others point out that Shields' take may overlook the emotional and mental toll Davis has endured in recent years, a factor that could heavily influence whatever decision he makes next.
I don't care what nobody say. Gervonta got skills out this world. He's a scary dude. He's scary. Ain't no way he said he's supposed to come back and get Shakur, Devin, Ryan, Teofimo, whoop all these. He like, I'm about to retire after I fight Jake. No, I don't let nobody talk about me like that. The way that Shakur disrespect him, the way that Devin talked to him, the way that Ryan, he already knocked out Ryan. The way that these dudes be talking, he supposed to come back and get them. He the man, right? He who everybody say is the best. I ain't leaving no food on the table. When I'm done boxing, I'm whooping all these girls. They all getting beat. You said you can beat me? Oh, okay, I'm gonna figure out a way to get you. You just wait.
Leonard Ellerby, a longtime advisor and close confidant of Gervonta Tank Davis, recently opened up about the fighter's mental and emotional struggles. According to Ellerby, there was a time when Tank simply wasn't in the right headspace to face Lamont Roach. The pressures of fame, personal challenges, and the constant criticism took a toll on him, leaving him emotionally exhausted. Ellerby explained that instead of forcing himself into the ring, Davis made the mature decision to step back and focus on his mental recovery. He stressed that while fans often see Tank as an unstoppable force, they sometimes forget that he's also human, dealing with real-life problems behind the spotlight. This perspective shed light on a different side of Davis, revealing that his decisions come not from fear or hesitation, but from a deep understanding of what it takes to maintain both mental strength and career longevity. For Ellerby, it's all part of Tank's journey toward true greatness, not just as a boxer, but as a person growing through adversity.
Leonard Ellerby said, to tell you the truth, Gervonta Davis couldn't get up for Lamont Roach. And what does that mean? It means that he could not get inspired, that he was not motivated to fight Lamont Roach, that his mind was not in a place where it was like, yeah, okay, let's get it, and he was going to war with Lamont Roach. He was going through the motions with Lamont Roach during the training camp and could never really get himself motivated to really give the best of himself against Lamont Roach. And that probably affected him during training and during the fight. And that is something that can happen, especially if you really look back on what happened with the Lamont Roach fight and all of the ups and downs about that fight being made. Because first, if you recall, he wasn't supposed to be fighting Lamont Roach. The person he was supposed to be fighting was Vasily Lomachenko. You know, the guy that everybody says that he doesn't want to fight, that he didn't want to fight. Gervonta Davis was up and prepared to fight Vasily Lomachenko. So it shouldn't surprise anybody that if he tries to make a fight with Vasily Lomachenko, that fight doesn't go through. Then he tries to make a fight with Lamont Roach. He can't get the fight done for Houston with Lamont Roach because there was all kind of venue problems and drama going on around Gervonta getting a venue in Houston. So they wind up eventually moving the fight to New York City and pushing it back even further. So not only is it a fight where he didn't just jump out of from his last fight that he had and jump into a fight with Lamont Roach, he got held up. And then also during that period of time, he had to spend some time in jail for a parole violation after I believe that might have been after the Lamont Roach fight.
In one of his most honest and emotional interviews, Gervonta "Tank" Davis opened up about what truly fueled his journey into boxing. Surprisingly, it wasn't fame, money, or championship belts that motivated him at the start. It was survival. Davis revealed that growing up surrounded by struggle and uncertainty, his main goal was simple: to escape his circumstances and create a better life for himself and his loved ones. Boxing wasn't just a sport for him, it was a lifeline. Even now, after achieving global recognition and financial success, that same hunger still drives him. Tank admitted that he's not motivated by luxury, but by the fear of going back to the life he fought so hard to leave behind. That's what makes him dangerous in the ring. Every punch, every round, every victory is more than competition. It's a personal declaration. A reminder that no matter how far he's come, he's still fighting to stay ahead of his past.
And while he's fighting YouTube sensation turned professional boxer Jake Paul, who is 12 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 7 wins by way of knockout, opposed to fighting against the likes of his peers who are well accomplished and superstars in their own right for legacy fights like Shakur Stevenson, like Teofimo Lopez, like Devin Haney. Why he's not interested in those fights. And he gets real, right? He gets real, and only thing we could do is salute it, right? Because he's saying, I never told y'all I wanted to be a world champion. I never told y'all I wanted to be undisputed. I got into this for myself and my circumstances to escape from my circumstances. And that's real. We can't blame him for that. We hold him in high regard because the statements he's made and misled people when he said he got a hit list that he wants to check off before he retires, and that hit list includes Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Lomachenko, who turned down the fight because of a severe back injury. And then he told the world, he told Champside, it would be great for him to become undisputed. So I think that he had a change of heart at some point in time along the way, right?
Former UFC champion Daniel Cormier has voiced strong doubts about the legitimacy of the upcoming matchup between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. After watching the promotional material, Cormier admitted the event feels more like a show for the cameras than a true sporting contest. He highlighted the massive size difference between the two fighters, noting that while Davis's skill level is undeniable, the weight gap makes for an uneven and potentially unfair fight. Cormier cautioned that these types of mismatches could hurt boxing's credibility, shifting it away from real competition and toward pure entertainment. His comments weren't an attack on either athlete. Instead, they reflected concern for the sport's future. In Cormier's eyes, boxing must continue to protect its foundation, where fights are earned through skill, merit, and fair competition, not just hype and headlines.
Jake Paul. Yesterday they had their first press conference. one of the most recognizable things is Jake Paul is huge compared to Gervonta Davis. And two, Gervonta Davis don't even know what weight they fighting, D.
Maximum weight of 195 pounds for this exhibition. The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds.
I said it was 190.
The fight is 195 pounds, Tank, as you know.
DC, I watched this, and we have our priorities way misplaced when we're talking about boxing. Like, everybody's complaining about this Ali act and all. Like, how is something like this allowed to happen? How is Jake Paul allowed to fight Gervonta Davis? It's completely unfair. It is completely just, I can't say the word that I want to say because I don't want to get canceled, but this fight should not be happening. And the press conference was embarrassing. Gervonta Davis should not have a mic in front of him. It was absolutely embarrassing watching this thing.
D, why? Why, D?
Just the fact that, like, every time when Jake Paul would say something to Gervonta Davis, he didn't know how to answer it. He was comparing himself to, like, P. Diddy at moments, and I was like, oh my God, get a mic away from this guy. This fight shouldn't be happening. And then he didn't even know what weight they were fighting. Like, I thought it was bad, 195.
That was the craziest thing. That was the thing that stood out to me the most. Was that when they go, the rehydration limit or something is 195. And he goes, wait, I thought it was 190.
Analyst Adalio explained that exhibition fights do have a purpose in boxing, but only when both fighters have moved past their competitive peak. He pointed out that events like Mayweather versus Logan Paul made sense because neither man was still chasing world titles. However, in this case, both Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis are still active and in their athletic prime, which makes the matchup harder to justify. Cormier's argument builds on that point, saying that these crossover fights risk blurring the line between true sport and staged entertainment. If these types of events keep happening, fans might begin to care more about controversy and hype than actual boxing skill. That, he warned, could harm the long-term integrity of the sport. This concern echoes a growing sentiment among boxing purists who believe the sport must protect its roots before it turns completely into a spectacle for social media.
Whether you agree with it or not, Gervonta is considered the #1 lightweight in the world. And it's a division that includes Shakur Stevenson, a lot of young guns coming up. I'm not any more sure if it's going to include Shawn Davis, but it's a hot division. He's considered #1 in that division. Like, that's why I kind of find this a bit, don't know. Like, there are challenges out there for Gervonta. There are big money fights out there for Gervonta. We want to see Gervonta in those fights. Again, I don't know how many fights people want to see AJ in, just to make the AJ Jake Paul comparison. One, as far as I'm concerned, that was Tyson Fury. I don't really have any interest in seeing an AJ in any other more fights. Whereas Gervonta Davis, I wanted and still do want to see him in so many more fights. So yeah, it's kind of weird. These exhibition things are, like, really and truly, they should all be when your career is done. Like, when you think of Floyd versus Logan Paul, done, right? Floyd versus Conor, did he have one more after, or was that it? I can't remember. But it was right at the end, it was done, right at the end, even if it wasn't, right at the end. These guys having these exhibition fights in between what is the peak of their career is kind of weird for me. Very, very weird. And then it isn't even comparable to Ngannou Fury, because at least these guys were the same size. Like, Jake Paul is a 215, 220 pound guy. I don't know what he walks around at. Gervonta fights at 135.
UFC President Dana White didn't sugarcoat his thoughts on the upcoming fight. He admitted that most fans aren't drawn to it because of the competition itself. They're tuning in for the drama and unpredictability. Still, White acknowledged an important upside. The event could do wonders for Gervonta Davis's popularity. Even if the matchup feels uneven, it gives Davis a rare opportunity to reach a much broader audience outside of boxing's traditional fan base. According to White, Jake Paul's massive social media influence ensures global attention, something regular title fights rarely achieve. In the end, Dana summed it up simply. The fight might not make sense from a purist's perspective, but it could still elevate Tank's fame, earnings, and mainstream visibility to an entirely new level.
Jake Paul to beat Gervonta Davis. This is not a fight that I'm excited for at all. I would rather have Gervonta Davis fighting in a real boxing match against the likes of Lamont Roach, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, Emmanuel Navarrete, anybody that is in the 135-pound division and around. That's where I want to see Gervonta Davis fight. However, we live in a world where everybody is trying to do things as big as possible. And the biggest fights possible right now, unfortunately for the sport of boxing, is an exhibition fight between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. So, I do like it for this reason, though. I like it because it is allowing Gervonta Davis to have a fight that is going to be big and that the mainstream media is going to have to cover, the mainstream media outside the world of boxing. Gervonta Davis has been, without a doubt, blocked, having venues blocked, having fighters, having other promoters paying fighters away to go different directions from Gervonta Davis. So Gervonta Davis was in a bit of a hole. And he gets an opportunity to fight Jake Paul for $200 million or whatever. I don't mind it at all. As long as Gervonta Davis comes back to the world of boxing after he gets done with this, hey man, you got your money, no worries. But you gotta love Dana White having the audacity to pick Jake Paul in this fight and says something to the effect that, hey, he was talking to Logan Paul.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned. We'll be back next time with more updates, insights, and boxing news you won't want to miss.